Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. If you're interested in a full thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, feel free to take a look at the first 3 or so minutes of our initial video of the 1966 season. That video is linked on its own in the description below. Right beneath that is a link to a playlist of all completed imperialism videos to date. Otherwise, we're ready to start. Now we wrap up both the century and the millennium with the 2000 season. The NFL still has exactly 31 teams and will for one more season. But one team that stood out above the rest, even though they didn't even win their division, is the Baltimore Ravens. Part of the problem was that over a 5-game stretch, the Ravens literally scored 0 touchdowns, instead settling for 14 field goals. That's how good and even legendary this defense was, as they rose from the wild card to win the Super Bowl over the NFC champion New York Giants. In fact, despite a 34-7 final score in that game, the Ravens defense pitched a shutout, allowing only a kickoff return for a touchdown, which the Ravens naturally responded to with a kickoff return touchdown of their own. Looking at our rankings, we see that the NFC dominance of the AFC is well in the past, as no NFC team makes the top 5. The Ravens indeed top the list, the 13th consecutive season that the Super Bowl champion sits in the top 2. We're ready to get Imperialism 2K underway. And we will begin with an intrastate rivalry. The state of Missouri is up for grabs. The Chiefs travel to St. Louis to face the Rams. The Kansas City offense marches right down the field. They're facing 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Elvis Grbac looks for Derek Alexander. He'll make the catch to get the scoring underway. The Chiefs lead this game 7-0. Their defense gets it right back from the high-powered Rams offense and have taken the ball down to the 13-yard line. Grbac looks downfield, settles for the drop-off pass to Tony Richardson, but he's able to do the rest and get into the end zone. The Chiefs are all over the Rams, but they missed this extra point. They're going to keep a 13-0 lead. Usually the Rams would go to Marshall Faulk to get a spark, but he's out of the game injured. Robert Holcomb comes in. He's not as good as Faulk, but he might be more powerful. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he's able to score with not much time left in the first half to give the Rams some life. They continue with that momentum with 2 third-quarter field goals. We're tied at 13 in the 4th quarter. The Rams inside the 15. Holcomb will take the handoff again, power his way down to about the 8-yard line. It's now 2nd down. The play action. Holcomb's been effective. Warner gets it off. Isaac Bruce makes the catch in the back of the end zone. The Rams have taken their first lead of the game, 20-13, and they're able to hold on from there. 20-13 will serve as our final score. This was an odd game for the Rams. In 2000, their offense was maybe better than it was in 99, but their defense was much worse. So to see a low-scoring defensive battle is strange. That said, the Rams do win. They take over the Chiefs' territory, and they're looking to avenge their imperialism loss from last season. The Chargers are still very much in the wilderness during this period of time. They have to go play the Raiders. It's bottom 5 at top 5. And it's going as you'd expect. The Raiders already lead 7-0 still in the first quarter. Rich Gannon fires this pass deep to Andre Rison, catches it in stride in the end zone to give the Raiders a 14-0 lead. They didn't have much else to do the rest of the game. They took the 4th quarter off, basically. They beat the Chargers here 28-3. Better days are ahead for the Chargers. Those days are not today. The Raiders take over their land. They own all of Southern California. After our first 2 eliminations, we go back to the wheel. It hits the Chicago Bears, and we're getting another Bears-Colts matchup. This is becoming quite the common game. The Bears are hanging in there, down 6 at the edge of the goal line. This is going to be a reverse to Eddie Kennison. It seems like the Colts have him, but he's able to get into the end zone, and the Bears have gone into Indianapolis, a top 5 team, and lead 17-16. As the third quarter comes to a close, the Colts have it at their own 32. Play action to Edgerrin James. Peyton Manning throws it to James, makes a great catch, breaks a tackle, and he's picking up lots of yards after the catch. As a matter of fact, he's getting all the way in for the touchdown, 68 yards on the pass from Manning to Edgerrin James. They'll tack on one more and win this game by a final score of 30-17. 6 seasons from now, the Colts and the Bears will play in the Super Bowl, and the Colts beat them by almost an identical score, 29-17. This one was 30-17. The Colts will take over the Bears' territory, and we have that great situation once again where the Colts and the Rams border each other. The Packers will head north, but that will hit the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, sending them off to face the Lions. Detroit led this game after 1, but has been all Packers since. Brett Favre faces a lot of pressure, but gets it off to Antonio Freeman, who does the rest. That takes a moderate 20-13 lead and changes it into a comfortable 27-13 lead. The Packers add a field goal. Our final score here is Green Bay 30, Detroit 13. It's set up to be a rough decade for Detroit. They started off with a loss. The Packers will take over their territory, and the Midwest looks like it's starting to congeal even this early in the game. This is going to be an extremely close call, but it's just going to get through the Seahawks to the Patriots. And after they've expanded a couple times, this arrow takes them southeast. That's going to hit Long Island, territory of the Bills. The Patriots lead 7-6 in the fourth quarter. They've got backup quarterback Michael Bishop into the game. He drops back to pass, tries to squeeze it into his tight end Ron Rutledge. Henry Jones is there for the interception. He will run it all the way back for the touchdown. The Bills had yet to score an offensive touchdown in this game, so they go ahead and get one on defense. They never wind up cracking the end zone with their offense, but they kick 3 field goals in the second half on top of that touchdown to win this game 16-7. Once the Patriots opened up their land some, they were not going to be long for this game. Their invasion is unsuccessful. The Bills will take over their territory and expand their land. We've now eliminated 5 teams, and the champs are coming on board. The Ravens are heading to the Northwest. Not good news for the Philadelphia Eagles. With the Chicago Bears eliminated from this season's Imperialism, the Ravens will be wearing their uniforms the rest of the way. Baltimore already leads 7-0. They're at the Philly 27-yard line. Handoff goes to Jamal Lewis. He is met, grabbed, held, it doesn't matter. He pushes through all of it and scores, funny enough, his second 27-yard touchdown run of the game. It's 14-0 here. It didn't get any better for the Eagles. This one was a bloodbath. 52-0 Ravens. With the 2000s Ravens defense getting a lot of comparisons to the 85 Bears, it just worked out that the Ravens would be in the Bears uniforms this season. Let's see how that treats them going forward. They will take over Eastern Pennsylvania, knocking the Eagles out of the game. Yes, it's very early, but they're truly the team to beat. We're going to be heading right back toward the field here. The wheel's going to land on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to head south and catch the territory of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game is next. Work done of the Buccaneers had himself quite a game. He takes this pitch, uses his speed to beat the defense, scoring this touchdown. He'll go through the middle on this play, again using his speed to get through everyone to score this touchdown. On this carry, he goes up the middle and breaks a tackle before scoring the touchdown. He put 3 on the board, leading Tampa Bay to a 31-24 victory. That final score looked pretty close, but the Buccaneers were essentially a boxer keeping his opponent away at arm's length the entire time. The Buccaneers will take over the Jaguars' territory, and except for the Dolphins, they own the state of Florida. And speaking of them Miami Dolphins, look who the wheel has selected. No need to spin the arrow, the battle for Florida is now. With both teams settling for field goals in the first half, the Bucs will try to break through and get into the end zone. Sean King looks for Keyshawn Johnson, that'll get it done. After trailing 6-3, Tampa gets the lead 10-6. They're going to get the ball back deep in Miami territory again. It is 3rd and goal. The pitch goes out to Work done. He gets stuck in, tries to wriggle around, gets taken down inside the 1. They settle for the kick, but they have it again, leading 13-6 in the 4th. Derek Rogers blasts Work done. The Dolphins will pick up the fumble, and they're in business, able to tie this game. They've driven it down to the 17-yard line. Jay Fiedler looks for Oronde Gadsden. He makes a diving catch for the touchdown. What a way for Miami to get its first. We're now tied up at 13, but Tampa's going to get the ball with a chance to go get this win. From their own 36, 1:47 to go. Sean King has time in the pocket, throws it up to Jaquez Green. He only has about a quarter step, but the pass was perfect. The Bucs are cooking now. They're at the 14. Miami changes their play. Tampa will do the same. On 3rd and very short, King's going to throw, dumping it off to Work done. Has a path to the end zone. The Dolphins stop him, but they're set up perfectly. They center the ball and bring out Martin Gramatica for a 21-yard game-winning field goal. No doubt about it. The Bucs hold the homestead and win this game 16-13. A lot of excitement in that one, even though there weren't a whole lot of points on the scoreboard. Our first top 5 team is out. The Buccaneers will take over the Dolphins' territory, and now they do own the state of Florida. After our first expansion in a little while, the Packers are going to travel down to Indianapolis and face the Colts. It's 14-0 late in the first half. The Colts are going to bring Mike Vanderjagt out for a 55-yard field goal, but it's blocked. That's going to prevent the Colts from scoring, but maybe worse, the Packers pick it up, running it back as Bernardo Harris. Look at all those blocks he's picking up in the back. A late-ditch effort to catch him is unsuccessful. What a turn of events for the Colts. The Packers will now have a 21-0 halftime lead, and the Colts were unable to recover. Green Bay goes into Indy and wins 28-10. Our number 5 team went out in the last game. In this game, our number 4 team's going out. Number 3, Tennessee, needs to be looking over its shoulder. The Packers will take over the Colts' territory in what has to be considered an upset victory. We got in quite a bit of expansion there, but now the Cowboys are traveling to St. Louis. They gotta play the Rams. The Rams lead 7-3 in the first quarter, still time remaining. Play action up the middle. Kurt Warner looks deep for Isaac Bruce. He'll make the catch in the end zone to extend the Ram lead to 14-13. We now go to the waning moments of the first half. The Rams lead 21-12 from midfield, only 45 seconds to go. Troy Aikman has plenty of time, goes deep to James McKnight. He makes the catch and will get into the end zone. The Cowboys have fought back in this one, cutting the lead down to 21-19. They kick a field goal in the third quarter and now lead 22-21. And on 3rd and goal, Chris Warren's going to run it into the end zone. So the Cowboys, who trailed by 11, now take an 8-point lead, 29-21. We know the Rams have the offense to come back, and they've driven it down to the Cowboy 12. Marshall Faulk has room around the right side, and he's going to get into the end zone. It took the Rams a while to get this drive together and going. We're under the 2-minute warning here. The Rams kick the extra point, so they still trail by 1. But they also quickly drop down this onside kick. Dallas didn't look ready, and the Rams recover. Okay, from their own 47. First play after the onside kick. Marshall Faulk has plenty of space on the right side. He's taking it down inside the 20. The Cowboys track him down, but the Rams are cooking. From the 19, Kurt Warner stands in the shotgun. He looked for Isaac Bruce last time. He'll go to Torrey Holt this time. The Rams only needed a field goal, but they got into the end zone. That will now make this a 35-29 lead. Dallas in a desperate situation. From their own 34-yard line, 35 seconds to go. Troy Aikman's going to throw deep to James McKnight, but it's knocked away. So it's now 4th and 3. Aikman will drop back, dump this pass off to Emmitt Smith. He will pick up the first down, giving the Cowboys probably one more play. Here is that play. They're about 58 yards away. No Cowboy receiver goes deep. The short pass to McKnight is knocked away. And the Rams, after winning this game, complete the comeback and get the 35-29 final score victory. The Cowboys sure did put up a fight in this one, but in the end, the Rams' offense was too much. They will take over the Cowboys' territory, and as it stands right now, they appear to have the largest piece of land in the nation. 10 teams have now been eliminated as we land on the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to head to the southeast, and that's going to catch the northeast corner of Florida, territory of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Falcons have fallen hard since their Super Bowl appearance 2 seasons ago, and it's showing in this game. Sean King finds tight end Dave Moore in the end zone for the touchdown. That will give the Buccaneers a 21-0 lead before the half. They replicated that 21-0 score in the second half for a shutout victory over the Falcons, 42-0. We saw that no NFC team was ranked in the top 5, but the Buccaneers are the NFC's highest rated team. They might be able to make some noise in this imperialism. They continue along by taking over the territory of the Atlanta Falcons, and they have Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. The champion Ravens are being forced onto the road, but that may be of little consolation to their opponents, the New York Jets. The Ravens lead 22-10 in the third quarter. Facing 2nd and 9, this is the late handoff. Up the middle, the Priest Holmes cuts his way in for the touchdown. Many may not remember that Holmes got his start in Baltimore before he blew up in Kansas City. The Ravens give up more points than you might expect in this one, so credit to the Jets, but they win 38-17. It's a small land pickup, but the Ravens will take over the Jets' territory and slightly expand their own land. We're going to be staying in the Northeast. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Buffalo to play the Bills. Pittsburgh's clinging to a 17-7 fourth quarter lead. Cordell Stewart takes a snap, runs around right end, uses his elusiveness, and then turns on the speed and will get 39 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. That will put things away for Pittsburgh. They extend out to a 24-7 lead. Buffalo couldn't do anything with it. That's going to be our final score. This is the beginning of a bad period for the Buffalo Bills. They will miss the playoffs this season and each of the next 16. They're put out of their misery early in this one, though. The Steelers will take over their territory, and we see a potential Steelers-Ravens matchup down the line. That's something we're looking forward to. Let's go ahead and get our next game on the field. The Ravens are chosen on the wheel. They're going to head to the Northeast. We're going to get a Super Bowl 35 rematch. The Giants will host the Ravens. Super Bowl 35 wasn't all that competitive. This was better, but still not all that great. Priest Holmes faces a big run on the defense, but is able to squeeze his way into the end zone. It's in the third quarter. The Ravens extend their lead to 20-3. The Giants do get a touchdown, but the Ravens walk away 26-10 winners. 2000 was the third season that the Giants ever made the Super Bowl. Imperialism in those seasons have not been kind to them. They've been one and done every time. The Ravens take over the Giants' territory, and that potential Ravens-Steelers matchup just got a lot more likely. The Rams will be getting a visit from the bottom team in this season's rankings, the Arizona Cardinals. From the edge of the goal line in the first quarter, the Rams already lead 7-0. This is a play action to Marshall Faulk. Isaac Bruce will make the short touchdown reception. The Rams extend to a quick 14-0 lead. They should be able to put this away, but the Cardinals are hanging in there. It's 14-3, time expiring in the first half. From just behind midfield, Jake Plummer, a quick pass to Frank Sanders, makes the catch, pick up some yardage. The Cardinals get another field goal out of this, and they now have the ball deep in Ram territory in the third quarter. Jake Plummer looks for David Boston, makes the catch for the touchdown. The Cardinals will go for two here, and they won't get it. So 14-12 remains the score, but they have the ball right back from just inside the 40-yard line. Plummer rolls out, will find Boston. He's racing to the end zone. The Rams just get him down inside the one. Jake Plummer will sneak it in, and the Cardinals have stormed back into this game, leading by a score of 19-14. With 2 seconds left in the third quarter, Dre Bly tries the kick return. He fumbles the ball. The Cardinals will pick it up, and they're going to have a chance to put this game away, but they're going to have to settle for a Kerry Blanchard field goal from 30 yards out. He puts it through. That's his third of the game. The Rams trail 22-14 and now face 4th and 20. From the Cardinal 43, Kurt Warner is going to lift it to Roland Williams. Got open, makes the catch. They get him at the 4, but he drags his way into the end zone. This game is turning into a carbon copy of the Rams-Cowboys game. They will kick the extra points, 22-21. The onside kick is actually not coming. The Rams boot it away to Marte Jenkins. He takes it at the 5. He gets his speed going. He will get a nice return just behind the 40-yard line. From just behind midfield now. Handoff up the middle to Michael Pittman. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to get a first down and a lot more. The Cardinals just need to run this clock out. It's 3rd and 10. Jake Plummer, play action. He's actually going to throw this ball into the end zone. Oh, they got greedy. Keith Lyle will pick it off. So with 46 seconds left, this explosive Rams offense has a chance to get into field goal range. Can the Cardinals D up here? This is actually going to be a handoff to Marshall Faulk. He's going to get a lot of good yardage here. Gets about 28 yards just short of midfield. Not quite in field goal range yet. Looks like the Rams are going to run Falk off left tackle again, but the Cardinals jump on it. So it's 2nd and 3, time's ticking away. Falk again, no, it's play action. He streaks to the left and gets the pass. The Cardinals are going to dive at his feet. He hurdles away from the tackle, and as time expires, he gets into the end zone. Oh my goodness. The Rams inexplicably win this game 28-22. If the U.S. Olympic hurdling team ever finds themselves in need, it appears they can do a lot worse than Marshall Faulk. What an incredible play to win the game for the Rams. They will take over the Cardinals' territory, and essentially, the Cardinals only had themselves to blame. What could have been a huge upset instead turns into huge disappointments. After their thrilling victory, the Rams are getting right back on the field, this time traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Denver has a 17-14 lead in the third quarter, but the Rams are moving the ball. Play action to Falk around end. This pass goes to Isaac Bruce, a little overthrown. Bruce makes up for it by extending out and making a diving touchdown catch. 21-17. Denver now on the march. They're at the Ram 29. Brian Greasy, he's going to look for Ed McCaffrey. He too will make a diving touchdown catch. The Broncos jump right back into the lead at 24-21. Now the Rams in the fourth quarter. They've taken it down to the 23. This handoff will go to Azahir Hakeem. Uses his speed and his elusiveness to get into the touchdown. A sneaky play there by the Rams. They retake the lead at 28-24. Will the shootout continue? Denver from their own 41, a second down. Brian Greasy will drop back. He will throw downfield to Rod Smith, will make the catch at the 45. He's got a blocker that picks up a couple of guys, and he just uses his speed to get into the end zone. The Rams are unable to catch up to him. The Broncos retake the lead 31-28. But now here come the Rams from their own 42-yard line. Not much defense in this game. Somehow Torrey Holt escapes the defenders, makes the catch, picks up some good yardage after the catch down at the 27-yard line. They've now taken it down to the 7. It's 2nd and 1. Play action. This play action flip pass to Isaac Bruce is basically unstoppable. The Rams jump back into the lead here at 35-31. Plenty of time left for Denver. Minute 17 to go, in fact. On third down, Greasy is going to look for Dwayne Carswell. It's overthrown. Should have been picked. It's fourth down. Minute 3 to go. They're going to try to run it. Mike Anderson swallowed up by the Rams defense. They will run out the clock. And in this high-scoring shootout, they get the 35-31 victory. Yet another close game for the Rams. This one didn't quite have the comebacks that the other ones had, but the nip and tuck throughout did make it exciting for sure. The Rams continue to win. They will take over the Broncos' territory, and in this season where their defense is poor, might their offense be so strong that they can't be stopped. The Browns are being called up for the first time. Unfortunately, they've got to go to Green Bay and play the Packers. It's only 10-6 Green Bay in the fourth quarter, but they're inside the 20-yard line. Brett Favre will find Bill Schrader. You're getting another diving touchdown catch. That's been a thing in this season's Imperialism. The Packers get out to a 17-6 lead. They're going to add one more before the game is over to eventually get a comfortable 24-6 win. The Browns certainly made them earn it, but in the end the Packers were too strong. They will take over the territory of the Cleveland Browns and continue to grow their presence in the Midwest. With only 14 teams remaining, the wheel will once again select the Rams. They're going to head to the Northeast, slipping through their original home of Missouri and catching the territory of the Packers. Let's see what kind of game the Rams have in store for us this time. From the Green Bay 10, they lead by 7 in the third. They shift on offense. The Packers shift on defense. The Rams call an audible. All of this leading to a handoff to Marshall Faulk, who the Packers had a terrible time trying to stop in this game. He scoots in for the touchdown. The Rams extend out to a 28-14 lead. An exchange of touchdowns before the end of the game leads to a Ram victory, 35-21. We said the Packers had a hard time stopping Marshall Faulk in this one. He ran for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns. That would qualify as a good game. The Rams will take over the territory of the Green Bay Packers, and they just keep winning. Our next wheel and arrow combination is going to give us a photo finish. The Panthers head to the northeast and just catch the tiny little area of the Washington Redskins. Had that gone a little further east, it would have hit Baltimore. We're getting a rematch of last season's championship game right now. Carolina setting up shop just behind midfield in the first quarter, trailing 3-0. Steve Berline is going to look deep for Donald Hayes, goes up, makes the catch. He avoids a tackle and gets it down to the 3-yard line. Now it took until third down, but Timbiaka Batuka is able to get into the end zone for the Panthers, giving them a 7-3 lead. They exchange field goals in the second half, bringing us to 10-6 in the third quarter. Washington's driving. They're at the 25-yard line. Stephen Davis goes through the middle, doesn't have to break any tackles, but he drags a defender into the end zone at the end of that great run, giving Washington a 13-10 lead. They now have the ball again in the fourth quarter, trying to put this away on a 3rd and 5. Johnson's going to look for James Thrash on the slant. It's incomplete, so Carolina gets it back. They're inside the 50. Chris Hetherington takes the direct snap on 3rd and 11. Gets pretty good yardage there. That's going to set up a more manageable 4th. They're punting the ball. Why would you run the ball if you're going to punt it on 4th down? Don't understand the play call. They barely will get this punt off. Washington almost blocks it. Deion Sanders is going to try to run it back from inside his own end zone. Gets it to the 10. One play later, it's 2nd and 6. Carolina shifts the defense. Stephen Davis up the middle where he's been making his bread all day. Gets a great run to just about midfield. The Redskins salt away the rest of the game, and they win a tight one here, 13-10. About the only thing you can say about the play calling we see in certain imperialisms is that this video game is from 1995. Modern games do the same thing. At least this game has the excuse of being old. That said, the Redskins continue along. They will take over the Panthers' territory, and the reigning Imperialism champions are still alive to defend their title. There are still lots of teams we haven't heard from, and the Saints are one of those teams. They're chosen to go to the West. That's going to take them into St. Louis to face the Rams. In 2000, the Saints won their first ever playoff game, and it was against the Rams. But that game was at home. Let's see how they fare in St. Louis. The Saints find themselves down 14-3 in the third quarter. But that was before Jeff Blake throws this deep pass to Joe Horn for the touchdown. These two aren't done yet. Here's another deep touchdown still in the third quarter. And now in the fourth quarter, they complete the proper hat trick. 3 uninterrupted deep touchdowns from Jeff Blake to Joe Horn. The Saints storm out to a 24-14 lead. They're going to hold on to win this one, 31-21. It seems like the Rams are able to get to a certain point before they run out of steam. They've done it here as well. The Saints will take over their territory, and this might be the first time that the Saints have had the largest piece of land in the nation. The Seahawks didn't have a whole lot of room to hit the Saints' territory, but hit it they do. The Saints are back on the field at home hosting Seattle. The Seahawks have kept this close, 17-14 in the third quarter, but the Saints still have this Jeff Blake, Joe Horn combination. Back in the end zone, touchdown for Horn, his fourth so far in Imperialism to give the Saints a 24-14 lead. He will add yet another one in a dominant fourth quarter for the Saints as they run away with this one, 38-14. If Joe Horn continues to be the reincarnation of Jerry Rice, the Saints are going to be really tough to beat this season. They will take over the Seahawks' territory, and their land has taken an interesting shape, going from Washington down through Texas across to the end of northern Ohio. We're down to our final 10 teams after a short absence. The Buccaneers return to this wheel. They will head to the northeast. They're going to travel into Washington to take on the Redskins. Washington's down 16-7 in the third quarter, looking to mount a comeback. Brad Johnson's going to force this pass in, and it's intercepted by Rondé Barber. He breaks a tackle. He breaks another one. Gets it to about the 15. They hold him up, but he gets away from that one too and is able to skate all the way in for the touchdown. That will give the Buccaneers a 23-7 lead. Their defense shut it down the rest of the way. The offense had nothing to do. 23-7 is our final. There's no questioning how good this Buccaneers defense. The problem with this team in 2000 and in this era was their consistency. Imperialism's not proven a problem in that regard. They will take over the territory of the Washington Redskins, and we're guaranteed a new Imperialism champion this season. We're getting right back on the field. The wheel lands on the top 5 Tennessee Titans. They're going to head to the south. That's going to send them into the territory of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In this defensive battle, it's been the Buccaneers who have found some offense. Mike Allstott's been a big part of that today. He takes this carry in for the touchdown. Known for his bruising power, he shows off the moves there. The Buccaneers extend out to a 17-3 fourth quarter lead. They'll get another field goal, and they take care of business in this one, 20-3. Tennessee being a top 5 team clearly meant nothing to this Buccaneer defense. They win the game, they take over the Titans' territory, and they essentially have dominion over the entire Southeast. We're getting the matchup we thought we would. The Ravens are going to take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. This should be quite the battle. And it was a battle, but it just happened to be a little bit one-sided. From the 9-yard line, this touchdown pass goes to Shannon Sharp. He gets into the end zone, extending the Ravens' lead to 16-3. They booted the extra point, added another touchdown, dominated the Steelers' offense to the tune of a 23-3 victory. That will now take care of the Northeast. The Ravens take over the Steelers' territory, and we've got a good mix of great defensive teams and great offensive teams remaining. And the Bengals. Our push toward the end continues. The Buccaneers are drawn on the wheel once again. They're going to head into New Orleans to face the Saints. The Bucs defense against the Saints offense. What's going to give? The Bucs have been in control, but only lead 16-6 in the fourth quarter. Sean King is going to drop back the pass. Jaquez Green totally destroys his defender, makes the catch on the great throw. That will extend the Buccaneer lead to 23-6, and from here the floodgates open up. They go into New Orleans and win this game 37-6. The Saints showed out a little bit in this Imperialism run, but running into the Buccaneers was not what they were hoping for. Tampa takes over their territory, and it's pretty clear by the map that they own over 50% of all the land in the United States. The wheel is taking a moment to remember we have teams in the West. The 49ers are chosen to go south. So the battle for California is going to be on. The Raiders will host the Niners. The Raiders are set to receive the game's opening kickoff. This is Napoleon Kaufman taking it at the 25-yard line. He's going right through the middle, and now the two safety backs take bad angles. Kaufman is taking off. The diving tackle misses, and you can't find a better way to start a football game. Kickoff return touchdown for Napoleon Kaufman. It's 7-0 Raiders. From here, it turned into a back-and-forth fest. Terrell Owens makes that touchdown catch. Tyrone Wheatley out of the backfield makes that touchdown catch. Jeff Garcia steps up, finds Terrell Owens once again. The Raiders now. Tyrone Wheatley again out of the backfield. Runs it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. And now the Niners have sprinkled in a field goal, and Fred Beasley runs up the middle for a touchdown. So the Niners are now in the lead 24-21 as we head into the fourth quarter. The Raiders are in field goal range here. It's 3rd and 8. The reverse is going to go to Tim Brown. Looks like he's got some good blocking, but the Niners get through and take him down. So the Raiders will be settling for this field goal. It's not too long for the first down, but they're going to try to tie this game up. Well, no, Rich Gannon's going to throw this pass incomplete. So they blow their chance, but they get the ball right back. And they're at the Niner 23-yard line. Gannon has Tim Brown all alone. Touchdown Raiders. They now have retaken the lead at 28-24. The Niners get the ball back and methodically drive it down the field. They're at the Raider 23-yard line. Charlie Garner will go up the middle and pick up 8 yards. They do nothing on second down, so it's 3rd and short. This is going to be a draw play to Garner. And he's going to get the first down and take it down inside the 5-yard line. They're now just outside the 5-yard line on 3rd down. Garcia in the shotgun. Looking. Darrell Russell will break through and get the sack. That's going to force the Niners into a 4th down. 4th and goal from the 16. Garcia looks for Terrell Owens. He's got 3 guys around him, but he makes the diving reception for touchdown. Unbelievable. The Niners get ahead 31-28. Now here we go. Napoleon Kaufman started the game with a kick return for a touchdown. Can he end it? He gets it at the 25 again. He's going through the middle again, but this time he only picks up 20 yards. So with 30 seconds left to go, the Raiders will pitch the ball to Tyrone Wheatley. He'll pick up some solid yardage there. 19 seconds left to go. They're going to run Wheatley off left end again. Picks up a first down with 11 seconds to go. You think they're done running it now. They're going to have to throw this ball. Gannon drops back. Tim Brown breaks free. That ball is out. The Niners will not catch him. What a collapse. An absolute collapse by the 49er defense as time expires. Tim Brown's 42-yard touchdown gives the Raiders an improbable 35-31 victory. Oh my goodness. First things first. The Raiders win this game. They take the 49ers off the map. They own the state of California. We've had some crazy endings in this season's Imperialism, but there's a certain history between the Raiders and the 49ers. The 3rd time now in an Imperialism, the Raiders have done this to San Francisco in the last second. Go check out the 1977 and the 1993 videos to see the others. We're down to our final 5 teams. We come down from that craziness to get ready for our next game. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be taking the field for the first time. And the way this map is set up right now, everyone's going to be taking their shots at Tampa. You know the Bucs will welcome the challenge. Minnesota at Tampa Bay is next. The Bucs finished second to Minnesota in the division in 2000. They're not finishing second in anything in this game. Robbie Abdullah in for the injured Mike Alstott takes it up the middle for the touchdown, extending the Buccaneer lead to 27-6. It didn't get any better for the Vikings than this one. 41-6. Tampa Bay wins. We haven't said this so explicitly because the Buccaneers are outside the top 5, and the Ravens, our number 1 team and the Super Bowl champions in 2000, are still alive. But I guess we've really got to look at the Buccaneers as maybe the favorite in this imperialism. They'll take over Minnesota's land. We're down to our final 4. Offense in the West, defense in the East, all around in the middle, and the Bengals. The Ravens will slip right past West Virginia's tail, bypassing the Bengals territory and instead going to the Buccaneers. This has every chance to be a titanic defensive struggle. Yet the offenses are moving the ball in the first half. Tampa Bay gives the ball to Warrick Dunn, bursts through the middle, makes one cut, and uses his speed. The Ravens won't catch him. A 35-yard touchdown run to open up the scoring. Tampa jumps out to a 7-0 lead, but Baltimore's offense strikes back very quickly, getting it down to the Tampa 22-yard line. Trent Dilfer looks for Qadry Ismail. Perfect pass over the outstretched defender. We're tied at 7. Now the game gets defensive. We're going to enter the fourth quarter with Baltimore leading 10-7, and they have the ball. From the 21-yard line, Dilfer lifts it to Ismail. It looks like a replay of the previous play. Now the reverse goes to Ismail. Tampa has good pursuit, but they can't get a hold of him. He gets into the end zone. The Ravens now lead 17-7. Does Tampa have enough offense against this defense to come back? They are moving the ball, but it's fourth down. They have all the faith in the world in Warrick Dunn, and why not? He's going to repay them with a first down and a lot more. Runs it down to about the 7-yard line. They're in business now. Sean King's going to take the snap, back up, find Keyshawn Johnson. Touchdown Tampa, their first touchdown, their first score of any kind since the first quarter. 17-14 now. Here comes the onside kick. Martin Gramatica is going to get it past the first wave of Ravens. That leaves it open for Tampa to recover. Here we go. Third down. Back-to-back incompletions. They're going to throw it again. King is going to loft this up to Jaquez Green, and it looked like it was going to get picked off, but Green takes it away. Tampa now has to settle for the 23-yard field goal. Gramatica buries it. We're tied at 17. Corey Harris is going to be back to receive this kick, try to give his team a spark, but he's only able to get it out about 4 yards. Tampa, though, is bringing their offense on the field. Not sure what they want to try here. They're going to look for Qadry Ismail on a short route, and it's intercepted by Rondé Barber. He breaks away, and oh my goodness, we have another nutso ending here. Baltimore throws the pick six for no reason. Rondé Barber runs it back in for the touchdown, and this is maybe third completely redonkulous ending we've had in this season's imperialism. Tampa Bay snatches victory from the jaws of defeat, 24-17 over the reigning Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, we're sticking with 3. Rams over Cardinals, Raiders over 49ers, and now Buccaneers over Ravens. The Buccaneers will eliminate the reigning Super Bowl champions. They never got to play a game at home this season. As it stands right now, the Buccaneers have to play in the next game. The Raiders and the Bengals have no chance of meeting each other. Which one will it be, and which one is guaranteed to go to the championship game? We'll waste no time finding out. It's close, but it's going to be the Bengals. They're completely surrounded. They're heading to Tampa. The Raiders, our number 2 ranked team, will be in the Imperialism Championship game. Will they play the dominant Buccaneers or the bottom 5 Bengals? Not a total runaway yet. Tampa leads 10-0 in the third quarter. Sean King rushes a pass out to Keyshawn. He'll make the diving catch. The Bengals somehow missed that tackle and missing about 6 or 7 more. Oh my goodness. You wonder why these guys were 4-12 and a bottom 5 team. Tampa jumps out 17-0. will cruise to a 31-6 final score victory. And here we have our championship game. 2 years before they will face off in the Super Bowl, we're going to get John Gruden coaching the Raiders, Tony Dungy coaching the Buccaneers in a championship game. Buccaneers and Raiders for it all. Where will this game be? The wheel will answer that question. It will land on the Buccaneers. Not enough juice there to hit the Raiders. So the Bucs will travel cross country to play in Oakland. The Raiders looking for their third Imperialism championship. The Buccaneers making their debut in the championship game. How will this shake out? Let's get on the field and find out. The Buccaneers are not showing any nerves here. They've driven the ball down to the 2-yard line. Warrick Dunn will take the pitch and run it in for the touchdown. Tampa will lead this game 6-0. We were talking about no jitters here. Martin Gramatica may have had some jitters. He will shank this extra point, but hey, the Bucs lead, and we're getting close to halftime. It's still 6-0. They have the ball, their own 31-yard line. Lance Johnstone will strip the ball from Sean King. The Raiders will pick it up, run it back to about the 7-yard line. On the very next play, Tim Brown will make this catch in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders, a huge play for them, getting them back in the game. They'll take a 7-6 lead. We head now to the third quarter. They've got the ball first and goal at the 4. Napoleon Kaufman in for the injured Tyrone Wheatley. Cashes in for the Raiders, extending their lead to 14-6. Tampa needs to do something to get back into this game, but the Raiders have the ball on the Tampa 34. Play action. This pass goes deep to Andre Rison, right in stride. And the Raiders now have leaped out to a 21-6 lead. Tampa's in the fourth quarter. We've seen them come from behind before. 3rd and 12, Raider 13. Sean King tries to swing it to Warrick Dunn. It's incomplete. 4th down now. This might be the game for the Buccaneers. King will drop back, try to dump it to Warrick Dunn. Incomplete. The Raiders do onto the Bucs as they've done onto so many others by running up the score in the fourth quarter. They outscore the Bucs 28-0 in the second half to win the game 35-6. And with that win, the Raiders will claim the 2000 Imperialism Championship to go with their titles in 1974 and 1990. And that third championship will match the number of Super Bowls they've won as well. The Ravens and the Giants gave us what many would consider to be an uninspiring Super Bowl, with the Ravens dominating the game 34-7. The score of our Imperialism title game was almost identical, with the Raiders taking the crown over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 35-6, a single point shift in either direction for both teams. The title game does not obscure the craziness of the other games though, as both the Raiders and the Bucs needed a miraculous victory to even reach this point. Of the 37 players on this Raiders roster, 12 of them are at least 30 years old, and that's with a young kicker and punter. But these veterans came to play, particularly wide receiver Tim Brown and the leader of the offensive line, lifelong Raider and 8-time Pro Bowler Steve Wisniewski. The defense wasn't exactly renowned, with only one Pro Bowler in 2000, but that was future Hall of Famer Charles Woodson. The veterans stepped up here as well, with William Thomas and Greg Beekert setting the tone at linebacker, essentially erasing the middle of the field for opposing offenses. We didn't get a whole lot of close games very early on, but they started coming with a flurry, including some absolutely crazy games involving the Rams, first against the Cowboys, and then their bonkers win against the Cardinals. The second half of games saw more of the same, with the Raiders getting that miracle over the 49ers and the Buccaneers doing the same over the Ravens. That brought those two teams to the title game, where the Raiders blew it up in the second half, allowing them a cakewalk to championship glory. With that championship comes the top spot in the 2000 standings, despite only 3 wins. In their 3 Imperialism title winning seasons, the Raiders have only needed to win 7 games total. The Buccaneers set a record here, but one they didn't want. The most wins in a single Imperialism season without winning the championship, going a stellar 9-1. The Rams and the Ravens joined the Bucs among teams with more victories than the Raiders. For the second straight season, the three teams at the top of our overall standings, the Vikings, Cowboys, and 49ers, failed to win a game, allowing other teams to catch up. It's the Rams taking the most advantage, getting up to 53 overall wins, with a powerhouse team on the way next season. The Raiders have finally secured a winning record, and the Chiefs and the Browns fall back to 500 overall. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to give the video a like and share it with some friends. And if you haven't already done so, hit that old subscribe button there, would ya? The Raiders won the Super Bowl in 1976, 1980, and 1983. They've won Imperialism in 1974, 1990, and now 2000. They're nothing if not discordant. Can they close out one millennium and open up a new one in the same way? We'll find out when we get 2001 Imperialism out over the next few days. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.